I think I'm live right now. Not sure. I hope so. I'm just waiting to get any reply from my friends. By the way, welcome to Sportskathi. I was just wondering if I'm live. I think the answer is yes. I'm still just waiting to see. So yes, I'm live. Here we are to watch the Chelsea versus Real Madrid, and we were expecting a Chelsea fan here today, Karan. But unfortunately, there's some network problem for him, and he can't join us right now. But I hope him to come sometime, later. And let's see what happens in the match today. This has actually a potential to be, like a boring 0-0 match. And I actually would have liked to have the presence of, a Chelsea fan over here to watch this match, especially because there will be something more to talk about Chelsea if there is a Chelsea fan, or if at least there is a Real Madrid fan, But unfortunately, it's just me. I hope there is no echo today. So the match is just starting for me now. So if the match started well for you, then do know that I am behind you. And maybe around a minute behind you, because YouTube also takes some time for it to broadcast it. And my streaming is slightly slower, especially than the Indian broadcast. So it takes me time for my stream to buffer and get it. Let me have a look at the lineup for today's match. Let me just check it out. So, if you go to the Real Madrid's team, they have actually lined up with Benzema, Vinicius and Hazard. Hazard is starting. Modric, Kroos and Casemiro in the midfield. And the back line is Fernandes, Ramos, Militao, Mendy. Fernandes is obviously Nacho Fernandes. And the keeper is obviously Courtois. You go to Chelsea, they've the front line of Havertz and Mount, with Havertz and Werner, with Mount, I think, as a number 10, two wide forwards. And they have back line of Christensen, Rudiger, Silva, midfield of Jorginho, Kante, and fullbacks Azpilicueta and Chilwell. Of course, Mendy as a keeper. I would assume that Chelsea would be playing a defensive match today, and Real Madrid would certainly need to score. So it will be interesting to see. And the important part is that Sergio Ramos is back. How fit is he? That will decide the match. Whenever Sergio Ramos is not there with Real Madrid, there have been instances that Real Madrid have been thrown out of the tournament. Now, it is to credit to Real Madrid that did not happen to them during the Liverpool tie, because they didn't have Sergio Ramos available to them even then. So it's quite a Real Madrid's credit that they have actually thrown Liverpool out. But let's see what happens from then on. How much of an impact Sergio Ramos, a half-fit Sergio Ramos, makes. And that's why even if Sergio Ramos is not fully fit, Real Madrid really want him to play. It's so important for them. And another position is, of course, the person who's playing at the right back position right now. You would see it as Militao, who's not actually a right back, but he's playing there at the right back position because the injuries that Real Madrid have. and I think Nacho Fernandez is playing as a centre back. Just give me a moment. So a little bit of fouls. I think Toni Kroos won a foul against N'Golo Kante over there, and might take the kick. I think it's maybe around 40 to 50 yards away from the goal, if I'm right, towards the left flank. So the left edge. No use of that free kick. It's from the start. It looks like Real Madrid is on the attack, and Chelsea is not very interested to play, and it makes sense as well. It is also a new tactic for Real Madrid. They have to play the game and beat, and it's a big game for Eden Hazard. He's back at Chelsea. He's back after a long injury, and is just getting back to fitness, and has to be seen how far he can play. I think there is a correction from the lineup that I draw. It more looks like Real Madrid is playing a 3-man backline rather than a 4-man backline. It's tactically slightly different what Zidane has planned. It's more of Vinicius Junior, I think, playing a bit of a fullback, and Militao, Nacho, and Ramos playing as a centre back line. Not sure how people would read this line, but from the way they're positioning right now, it looks more like that. Hey chat, no one saying anything till now. Well, until now there have been a few fouls, but I don't think there have been even a good shot on target till now. So we are still waiting for it. It's the defense dominating the attack till now, or rather, attack not able to do anything. That would be the better way to say it. This is not like attack doing things and defense just being better than that. No, this is just attack not being able to do anything. And one thing that really impresses me is the midfield of Real Madrid. Toni Kroos, Luka Modric, they are so old, yet you see in that Real Madrid the work rate is really coming from Toni Kroos and Luka Modric. And that's something, it's not like they have a lot of energy with them, they have a lot of stamina with them. Like they can run for 10 kilometers, no. But it's the work rate that they are producing despite, being of that age. It's just really impressive to see that kind of a work rate. But the only part is they have to get the killer pass. If Toni Kroos starts getting into the game more, you will see Hazard looks to be, better than his average Real Madrid performances. I think he also has that extra bit in him that he has to prove in front of his Real Madrid teammates. It's really interesting to see as well. I mean, the midfield, as you said, Real Madrid is hogging the position as well. I think so. Toni Kroos, I think, had the first shot on target. A very weak one, and it's so long as well. I don't think it's that kind of a shot, can trouble any keeper. And, Mendy is really good. One thing you always have to understand is that Real Madrid is also capable of very bad performances as well. So it would take one of their best performances of the day. But what has happened in 2017 and 18 is that they were like this. They used to have bad days as well. But come on a Champions League night, they always ace it. They always come with their top A performance and just win it and go. So that's something to be scared about. That these players are capable of doing it. Sergio Ramos and Eden Hazard back. But otherwise, I think it's very simple job for Chelsea. Chelsea should be, on an average day, Chelsea should be, easily acing it. Even if it's a 0-0 draw, Chelsea is in. They have the away goal. So now it's a time for Chelsea as well to try, a long shot, and Antonio Rudiger. It's so funny. Rudiger has tried, so he has got one shot on target. Well, it was a decent save from Couto as well. So it was a decent effort, but yeah, you're not doing that from 40 or 50 yards. Come on. So there are two ex-players in Chelsea right now. Two ex-players in Real Madrid right now who are playing for Chelsea, if I'm right. That is Eden Hazard and Courtois. They are playing against Real Madrid. And there is an ex-Real Madrid player in Chelsea, Kovacic. So there are a lot of players that these two teams have shared. Is there anyone else? I don't think so. I don't know. Chat, not saying anything till now. sorry. Just had to send a small message. I mean, I'm really sorry because I'm doing this for the first time. You're not getting the flow to do it. But yes, certainly back to the match. And as we are saying, Chelsea, Real Madrid, there are some good matches this weekend as well. Certainly with Spanish League yet to decide. There is a big match in the La Liga this weekend, which is Barcelona versus Atletico. And I'm not sure whom Real Madrid is playing, but all three are really fighting for the title. I think Sevilla dropped points against Athletic Bilbao this weekend. And so they are slightly out of the title race. Otherwise, it was a four-way race. I remember there was a video in the beginning that we took. And I remember saying this, that La Liga this season is going to be a four-way race. It's not easy to get many predictions right, but I have got this one right. It was a four-way race till last week, but I think Sevilla just slipped out because they lost. But it's still now a three-way race between Barcelona, Real Madrid and Atletico. I was just expecting that, Lopetegui might doing something with Chelsea, with Sevilla, I'm sorry. And they were in the title race. So that would be very important if it's a draw, 1-1, 0-0, whatever, draw for, it would be really good for Real Madrid. Both dropping the points. But those two might still prefer one of them to win it. They would still want to win it. So it's many things at stake. Both the teams Barcelona and Atletico won the win, and they would be playing for it. And if it's a draw, that's good for Real Madrid. So it's like too much at stake for that match. Let me check whom Real Madrid is playing. That would be interesting. So Real is playing Sevilla this weekend on Sunday. That's another big match. So La Liga is really on fire. And of course for Chelsea, that's another big match for them as well this weekend. They are playing Manchester City at, if I'm right, on Indian Standard Time, 10 p.m. The 10 p.m. match, the late evening match for Chelsea is against Manchester City. They will be playing Manchester City a lot as well. If they qualify, then they will be playing again the Champions League final. They just played the semi-finals of FA Cup, if I'm right. Chelsea won it. So there are a few titles that these two are chasing, Chelsea and Manchester City. These two English clubs, might win a few titles this season. Perhaps both. I mean, the Premier League is clearly with Manchester City. The Champions League, there is a chance that either of these two teams can win. There is a chance that FA Cup can be won by Chelsea. And, the EFL Cup is already won by Manchester City. So, there you go. And Chelsea are getting into the match there. I think that's an offside. Oh no, that was an offside. It was good attack. Chelsea is slowly getting into this match. Their movements. They're playing the transition basically, and they're getting into the attacks. They are getting the strings together. Will it be pulled back? I think it was onside. Might be a VAR check. Timo Werner looked a bit onside, is it? Maybe it's going. It was a bit unfair. That was a good, good attack from Chelsea. That was a good break from Chelsea. A better word to say. And Timo Werner did put it in the net, but unfortunately, the one time he did not bottle it, he was offside. So he did bottle it. Yes, you are offside. You bottled it. It's just a difference that Real Madrid is slightly more experienced. They know how to move the ball, but Chelsea is quick. Chelsea has the pace to get to attacks, but they just lack a bit of experience, a bit of composure, and that's the only thing Real Madrid have over Chelsea. That's basically the difference. Can that extra bit of composure beat that extra bit of energy that Chelsea has? Otherwise, these two teams pretty much, I think, one-on-one they are pretty match to match. They are pretty equal on everything except just these 2 points. And it would be important whether the composure would pay more or the pace and the energy would pay more. So I think we were discussing yesterday, whom will Real Madrid buy? Will they buy Mbappe or Erling Haaland? I don't think that they have the money to have a big purchase this time, because that's the whole idea behind ESL was. I think Perez literally said this. And everyone here is asking me, when are you going to buy Mbappe? When are you going to buy Erling Haaland? And without the ESL, he does not have the money to do it. They're also building a stadium. They really need a lot of money right now, and I don't think they have it with them to buy a big player. Mbappe might ask huge wages as well. He might really milk the situation, and which is one of the reasons why I believe that Mbappe might stay with PSG. He's playing the hard ball. He's keeping the cards close to his chest. He played late. But I certainly have a feeling that Kylian Mbappe is going to stay at PSG. That's more probable than going to Real Madrid. Or he might just run down his contract to move to Real Madrid on a free. That's the only way. Because if Real Madrid have to buy Mbappe, I don't think PSG is selling him below 100. And I don't think Real Madrid would have the money to pay it. And Haaland even better, because I think Dortmund is asking for 150 million or something like that, which is certainly not happening. And why should Mbappe leave as well? Right now, I think financially Paris Saint-Germain is a bit more healthy than Real Madrid. Of course, players don't think about it. But if you think there are more chances that PSG can improve their team than Real Madrid can. Real Madrid really have an old squad. There are so many people to replace. Certainly, Ramos, Kroos is getting old. He still has proved in the second part of the season. Since the turn of the year, Toni Kroos has proved that he is a talent. But he is old. Luka Modric, again another old person. Karim Benzema, you have to count, is getting old, and Eden Hazard hasn't paid off either. So it is yet to be seen. We have to see if Eden Hazard does something good today. We can say it paid off at least a bit, but in totality, Eden Hazard has been a kind of a failure, and he's not a young prospect. Like, there are a lot of years left with him either. He's getting to the 30 age, and yeah, there's only 4 or 5 more years left with Eden Hazard. So it's really depending upon how good Vinicius Junior and Rodrigo becomes, and it doesn't look like a bright prospect for Real Madrid. Their squad planning have really failed. I think selling Ashraf Hakimi was not a good decision either. Yes, you have Odriozola, you have someone as versatile as Lucas Vazquez. That's all right, but Carvajal is getting old, and you want a top right back, and it's not easy to get a top right back. They really let go one of the big talents in Europe in Ashraf Hakimi. So if you count all that, certainly Mbappe has to stay with Paris Saint-Germain, and that would be a I think a reasonable decision by Mbappe. So I don't think it's any certain that Mbappe will move to Real Madrid. And whom will Real Madrid buy? So that's a big question that everyone is asking. They will have to build their team. If they win this, yes, Zidane is staying for next season for sure. I mean, even if they don't win this, taking a team like Real Madrid to the semifinals of Champions League has shown that you give him a team, Zidane can produce results, and he can turn it with those maestros in the Real Madrid. But the thing to be seen is how good is he at improving the youth talent in Real Madrid. That would be the question, once these big stars leave, how will Zidane improve the team? Oh, that was a very good shot from Karim Benzema, but off target, I think, or was it a save? Was that a save? That was a save, isn't it? And Mendy is really pumped after that save. So Chelsea has one attempt on target, and that was Rudiger, and Real Madrid have had 3 till now. That's a good attack. That's a good attack. Oh. That's comic. That's comic. Kai Havertz deserved that goal, but Timo Werner deserves a goal as well. Finally got his reward for running for the ball. I think nothing changes for Real Madrid. They still need a goal. If they had scored a goal, they would have straight away won this tie. But now they need a goal anyway to get to extra time. That's their target. That's the composure from Kai Havertz. Really have to appreciate the kid. He has done the job for Chelsea. So I said they didn't get a lot of chances. They had to be clinical. Timo Werner was offside by a bit for the best chance they created. Kai Havertz has the composure to get it over the keeper and Timo Werner had the presence of mind to run, and it's a goal. So Chelsea has pretty much, got one foot into the final now. They just need to avoid conceding now. And I like the fact that Timo Werner got the goal, because he actually missed that other goal, by a very small margin. It was just offside by a bit. So it's good to see that he got the goal. How are the Chelsea fans feeling in the chat? There's no one over here. How confident are you feeling? Yes, see, it's like Real Madrid is attacking more, but Chelsea, their attacks have been more quality. I have no place to check the XG right now, but I'm pretty sure Chelsea will be having a slightly better XG than Real Madrid, because Real Madrid chances, Toni Kroos, that was a bad shot, and then Karim Benzema, yeah, that was the best that they have had. But the kind of chances that Chelsea had, and the Rudiger one, the Mason Mount one, and then that Real Madrid was saved by a whisker, Timo Werner being offside. Chelsea is clearly the better team. But it's just that Real Madrid is able to control the game. And as you know, two English teams pretty much in the Champions League final, there's a chance that, one English team is surely into the Europa League final as well, but the other team could be surely. But Arsenal, Villarreal, it's slightly tougher for Arsenal. Villarreal, clearly Emery. It's pretty tough. I can't say for sure that Arsenal can get, but there is a possibility Arsenal might also be in that way that we could finally see two English teams playing both the Champions League and the Europa League final. But as of now, Manchester United is pretty much into the Europa League final. Showing the replay of Timo Werner's goal. Yay. So, N'Golo Kante has been live in this match as well. He has been the man who has been really revived by Thomas Tuchel. This kind of the kind of game Chelsea plays. And another thing I think what Chelsea people were really interested in is can Ben Chilwell start playing as a left wing back? It's been just 34 minutes, but I think Chilwell has improved a bit from the start of the season. I feel like his runs are a bit better. He's seeing the diagonal passes a bit better. Getting that vision more where to pass clearly. It doesn't look like Ramos is fit. Kai Havertz is physically fighting against Sergio Ramos. That is really funny to watch. Kai Havertz looks like a thin guy, not so strong, and Sergio Ramos with a tattoo. I mean, we were saying with Akshay yesterday, proper villain, proper Hollywood villain, and Kai Havertz is out-muscling Sergio Ramos over there. Also shows the intent, that Kai Havertz has come up with. He's up for it. He's up for the big game. I mean, that's one plus thing that I have always found with Kai Havertz. Oh, big chance. Good save by Mendy. Good save. Mendy have really pulled up two good saves against Karim Benzema. And that was a really good chance. Benzema outpacing Rudiger. That's something I don't know. I would have never felt. I would have to say that. Is it more of outsmarting or outpacing? I don't know. Could be more of outsmarting, I would say. And that's a yellow card for Sergio Ramos for diving. The referee thinks so. I was a bit shocked at the start. Is it going to be this kind of penalty? No. The referee is a bit smarter than that. That was a foul from Ramos. Oh, okay. I thought Ramos was acting over there. Azpilicueta pushed by Sergio Ramos, and Ramos is like, I have no role in this. The referee doesn't agree. Yeah, Vishu saying he's surprised that it's not a dive. Yeah, even I thought so. I thought Azpilicueta was diving, and I thought that was Sergio Ramos, and that's why he's getting the yellow card. But yeah, I think that was just a dive from Azpilicueta. Sergio Ramos had a point to say, perhaps there is a bit of a contact, but it was too soft. From far, I thought like that's just a dive, but it was Azpilicueta falling down and not Ramos. We need to see how many times has Modric touched the ball in this match. I don't know why was an advantage played over there, but I think the referee whistled. I'm not hearing the game, so I think the referee whistled over there. But it should have been one of the places where you should have played the advantage, and I think that's the reason why Vinicius Junior, I guess, was not happy. Oh, that's a good attack. Chelsea is moving forward. Timo Werner again. I think his last pass is lacking. I'm sending an invite to some of my friends. If they can come, wherever they are. Let's see how many of them want to turn up for this match. So I sent an invite to a few people. They said they want to come. Let's see if they do. Chelsea has won a free kick. But the only problem is if they come, they're really slightly ahead of me. But let's see what they have to say. I think Chelsea is hogging more of the ball after they got the goal, and yes, Real Madrid has been defending, but they are not able to dominate the game as much. It's just phases, yeah. It's very short time, but Real need to do something. They need to do something different as well. So it's 42 minutes, 42nd minute of the match, and Chelsea is leading. Let me just get in. It's Arca who would like to come. As people know, Arca, he was the one who came for the big interview. He talked about the Indian football. He talked about the German football system, and he talked how to improve the Indian sports scene. He has worked as a journalist in different media outlets. And let's hear from him. What is he up to right now?
What's up?
What's up, man? What are you up to these days?
Nothing. Just working on the football scene here. Mostly, let me switch on my video.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What t-shirt is that?
It's an FC Goa t-shirt. It's the first team ever to play in the FC Champions League.
And score a goal.
And score a goal and get 3 draws out of 6. That's the equivalent of a team from Estonia getting 3 draws out of 6 in the UEFA Champions League.
It's worse than a Ferencvaros appearance in the European Champions League, isn't it?
Ferencvaros was once upon a time a European heavyweight.
Yeah.
So I don't want to tarnish such a great legacy that they have. Yeah, Estonian team is
that's a good analogy.
Yeah, Estonian team, a Moldovan team, But what do you say? It's a great
Yes.
achievement that FC Goa have done.
Yeah, I mean, I was in. I couldn't get this here in US, but I could listen most of the Indians watching it, and really being.
Yeah. You can almost watch every match on Reddit soccer streams. That's the best part. And Asian football, unlike European football, is not heavily protected. Like, I think that's also a really good part about Asian football.
They need the audience, right? They need the TV.
What's really screwed Asian football is the advent of European football in those countries. To be very honest, Asian football isn't really that bad. Like, if you look at a Persepolis and all, they're proper Europa League level team.
Yeah, the Iranian league is really interesting. Yeah, if you really
very strong also. It's a very strong league also. And it's a team mostly made out of local people. Like Persepolis, except the goalkeeper was Croatian, 10 all others were Iranians. So that's some crazy local talent they have.
Interesting.
And even if you look at Iranians in Asia, Europe also, Ali Reza, Jahan Baksh, Sardar Azmoun, Reza Gujajanad, there's so many.
I know Sardar Azmoun, he's playing in Russia, isn't it? He's playing for
Zenit, not Zenit.
Krasnodar.
I forgot. Sorry?
Krasnodar, is it?
Rostov, I think Rostov.
Rostov, maybe, yeah.
But they are not just, it's not just him, it's also Jahan Baksh who's playing for Brighton, the Premier League. So every Asian team right now, major team, has really good players in Europe.
I think the Japanese league and the South Korean league, as a league structure, they are pretty strong as well. I mean, at the grassroots level, I don't know how strong.
The grassroots level, the school structure and the university structure is crazy. Before the pandemic hit, 40,000 people used to come watch the Japanese school games final. 40,000 people for a school game.
My goodness.
Yeah. No, Japan football culture is crazy. Like any other culture that they have, when they take up something seriously, they take it up very seriously. There's no half measure. They have a 100-year plan to win the World Cup in 2094.
You had to. 2092.
2094.
94. Okay, 94. Okay, 94. After Brazil. Okay. 100 years after Brazil.
Yeah. Which means they instituted at the time of the US World Cup.
Yeah.
At the time of the World Cup was held in US. Yeah. On that time. It's crazy. Every Asian team right now is on the rise. I feel like Asia's football is generally on the rise right now. Yeah.
So is Persepolis the favorite, or is there any Japanese or
So in the West of the teams that we've seen, I feel the two Iranian teams, Istiklal and Persepolis, and those guys are the favorite for me. I also feel Al Hilal will be strong. Al Hilal have Bafetomi Gomez up front and supported by Luciano Vieto. So
it's a Gomez team. So he's playing in Saudi, isn't it?
It's a Gomez team, and behind him is Luciano Vieto, who's played a Champions League final and all for Atletico Madrid, and then he directly moved from Porto to Al Hilal. So the financial might of the Gulf leagues is just crazy. Yeah, the Gomez must be on some. I mean, for India standards, at least crazy money there. So
sure.
Yeah, but yeah, I think the two Iranian teams still, because the cohesion that they play with is crazy, because obviously mostly all Iranians in the team, and they have this.
This is not new recruits. This is not new recruits. Like Gomez is coming and just playing for the first or the second year.
Gomez, I think, has been playing for 2 seasons now at Al Hilal. But still, I feel like when you have a team full of native speakers, right? I mean, we see that phenomenon in India, where you have when you have teams from the Northeast, they do really well because they usually are mostly made out of all local lads, right? So the cohesion is really important. Really important. So, and which is why Goa also dominates the Indian scene, because Goa has a lot of local lads. So there's a lot of local lads in Goa as opposed to a Bengaluru FC or a Kerala Blasters or any of these other clubs.
The Gokulam FC, you mean?
Gokulam FC also, now they've...
Or you're saying Kerala Blasters itself has more Malayalis than...
No, does not have
Does
as
not have,
many
yeah.
Malayalis as Goa has Goans.
Oh, okay. Mm.
Yeah.
Is that true for Northeast as well? Like Northeast has a lot of people from that area.
Northeast United has Northeast people, but then Northeast is not one homogeneous culture.
Exactly. Oh, yeah.
It's a combination of almost 220 tribes. Spread over 8 states, each with their own dialect, culture, and language. So even if I was to take, like, I'm talking about other Northeast teams which are more local, like an Aizawl FC or a Shillong Lajong, which have people only from their state, right? So those teams tend to be very combative and technical in nature and more cohesive also. Like they play a very beautiful brand of football also.
Interesting.
So
who's the other team from Iran apart from Persepolis?
Esteghlal. Yeah. It's been my dream to go watch these teams play a derby. It's one of the world's best derbies.
Tehran.
The Tehran derby. It's played at this stadium called the Azadi Stadium in Tehran. And some 120,000 at its peak crowd into the...
What's the actual capacity?
Yeah, the actual capacity. And it always gets 80-90 easily, because even like 3 hours before the game, some 70,000 people are inside the stadium already. I think like it's on my bucket list of derbies to watch.
Nice.
Like, for sure. Like, I mean, a lot of people don't know about it, but the Azadi derby, the Tehran derby is nuts, because Iran, to be very honest, like has an older football culture than Australia, Japan, South Korea. It probably has one of the oldest football cultures. Yeah. Unfortunately, we are one of the ones who rival them in terms of longevity. Right? Because at the time of independence, we used to be competitive. The Indian team beat Ajax 5-1 in 1947, which is almost unthinkable of right now.
Yeah.
Right now. But we have a culture that's as old as them, but then we lost the culture to another game for the last 40 years. So.
You don't want to name the game, is it? Everyone knows.
No, it's fine. I mean, I don't want to get abused on match that night. So, I mean, it can coexist. I mean, surely. Is it written that it can't coexist?
I mean, the number of games that England or Australia dominate in is really big.
Yeah.
Not like
I mean, even if we look at the Dutch, right? The Dutch play football. The Dutch play hockey. The Dutch have a lot of good...
Not irrelevant in cricket, but
yeah. Dutch have a lot of good darts players also. It's not a necessity for you to have only one game. Spain is another very good example of a country which plays so many games, right? Like Spain, people don't even know, but one of its most successful games is water polo. They have a lot of good water polo teams.
I don't know. I have not talked to the Germans. I talked to the people who are settled in.
Germans, you know how many sports they play. Like Germany.
Yeah, but I don't think they know about hockey or anything. Like we know about.
Whoa. I mean,
the people in US.
Germans played in every hockey World Cup, I think.
No. I'm saying the German fans don't know that they. Over in US, the Germans who are settled in US or something, they know about the football.
Okay. Maybe that way. Mm-hmm. But when you go to Germany itself, there are a lot of people who...
How many people follow the hockey? Not ice hockey.
Yeah.
Field hockey.
Yeah. Hockey and one of table tennis's world number ones was from Germany. Timo Boll was from Germany. The German Bundesliga and TT is supposed to be very competitive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like I've known Indians who've gone and struggled there, and Indians aren't that bad at TT. Not as bad as we are at football, That is
Okay.
so, yeah. So no, I mean the Bundesliga is a in TT is also a very prestigious competition in the world of table tennis. So
I mean, the two sports that comes into my mind is football and ice hockey. That's the two game that when you say Germany, and then maybe
field hockey,
and then
field hockey, field hockey,
Yeah.
handball, TT,
and a lot of F1 drivers as well, because it's the land of automobiles.
Racing in general. Racing in general is very, very popular. Like, and we tend to just limit racing to F1, but of course, there's a lot. Like F1 just the tip of racing, right? There's so much racing apart from that, like Formula 3, 2, NASCAR. Yeah, like Germans obviously have a lot of good drivers. So it's really the nursery of sport in the world. Germany. Yeah.
True.
No, I mean, I'm only purely talking about the number of sport jobs that are there. Like it's a huge industry. Yeah, it's a huge industry there. So, and I think like just for football alone, the numbers are crazy. Like if you take all sports, I think the numbers are going to be even more crazy. So,
Yeah. True. I mean, once you have the pipeline flowing and once you have money flowing through the pipeline, it's easy to maintain. But yeah, I mean, they have done a good job in getting that pipeline, set.
yeah. Oh, I mean, they also encourage it. I mean, they also have this culture of fitness, which leads into sport. I mean, there are like I said, there are 100 different factors affecting sport than sport itself, right? So, and Germany has a lot of those factors under control, like socio-economic. You look at, it has the world's least unemployment, so obviously it can afford to play sport and all of that. Like you have 3% unemployment now.
Yeah, let's not dwell a lot into socio-economics right now, since it's just about since we are live as well, and we're talking about sports. Let's get back, because if you get into that, I might also ask some questions, and I don't want to get into that. Surely Arka, being a journalist, you will have a lot of things to say as well.
No, I mean I don't want to look at sport just from a sporting angle. I mean, there are 100, like I said, there are 100 different factors. But yeah, not on this stream.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're watching the game. So,
what did you think about the game? Do Real Madrid have any chance?
No, I think what we are seeing is that Madrid need a rebuild. I think the core, it's time for the core to, I think, step aside. Apart from Benzema, though, I think Benzema is still class. Like, he gets one chance and he works the keeper. So, I think Benzema is, but Modric's also been decent, but I don't know, like they've struggled
34, 35, you can't rely on one more year on more.
Yeah, I mean, no, you can't do that week in, week out also, you can't. They need a rebuild. I think they're slowly doing it, but they need more reliable performers, I feel. People do it week in, week out. For example, like Chelsea are playing very well, and they have performers who've been like killing it in the recent past, at least in the last month or so. Like Kante's had a really good half. Havertz had a really good half. Mendy. So Rudiger was frozen out under Frank, and now look at him. So I mean, Madrid, I think that is lacking. Only Ramos is showing his usual Ramosness. He's pushing people around. He's abusing people. He's hitting people. So I mean, he's the only one.
I mean, Ramos is also playing a late card with Real Madrid as well. He's not extended the contract yet. I think he's
but this happened before with Ramos, and at the last moment he always seems to extend also.
Yeah, I think he wants a big salary, but should Real Madrid keep Ramos right now, or they go for the rebuild? Because Ramos is a lot.
I think they go for the rebuild, but I think they can keep Ramos for one more season. Have a effect as how Thiago Silva's having at Chelsea, right? He's kind of a figurehead. He's kind of a defensive leader. So I think yes, but there are a lot of teams in the world which would sign Ramos in an instant. Yeah.
I mean, yesterday we were talking about Manchester United as well.
Sure.
Ramos, yeah.
Maybe Man United. Maybe I don't know which other team. Maybe an Arsenal could benefit from a Ramos. But I don't see him
can
going
Arsenal
there.
afford the salary? I don't know.
No. The very few. But again, defenders are considerably cheaper than their attacking counterparts. So let's see.
Ramos is demanding. I don't think Ramos is going out of Real Madrid for a salary that less than Real Madrid.
No. But if he doesn't get offered that at Real Madrid by Papa Perez, then he might. But then again, you're risking a dressing room.
Yeah,
you're risking a dressing room. What do you say? Mini revolt. If you're not paying heed to Ramos, because he's literally the glue in that team. That's so. It's an important decision for Papa Perez. You hope he put some thought into it, unlike his other signings.
So certainly not Mbappe this season, because Mbappe or Erling Haaland will cost a lot. So
I think we've read that Real Madrid financial impact of the pandemic has been significant. Even though obviously they're not as financially dire as their
Barcelona
country counterparts, right? Still, Real Madrid really pushed for the ESL. Why did they push for the ESL? Because their finances are screwed, right? So, and they've taken a lot of bad bets. It's only because Barcelona have done such bad business that Real Madrid have been relegated to second page news, because Barcelona's financial planning has been that bad. But let's not forget Real Madrid paying 100 million plus for a 29-year-old Hazard. And what a bad, it's not worked out well, that signing at all.
So, even today, I mean, he played maybe 10 minutes good, but I think for most of the match he was not there anyway.
Anonymous. Vinicius Junior has been really infuriating to the extent where the wingers have been so ineffective, to the extent where Ferland Mendy is playing as a de facto winger, right? So they're really struggling. They are the only creativity is coming from Modric, and that's when he links up with Benzema.
It's still, I mean, Modric's work rate, Modric's work rate dominating the work rate of Vinicius Junior, despite being not as energetic as him, is just
And Kroos is not going to give you that sort of work rate. But Kroos is keeping things ticking on, but the forward line is struggling. It's clearly struggling, and I don't know. I don't know what the future holds for Vinicius Junior, but right now I think topsy-turvy performance.
I mean, he's back. He's not up there with what you expected of someone.
No.
17-year-old.
He hasn't kicked on. He hasn't kicked on at all. And I remember Vinicius Junior really well, because there was the Under-17 World Cup in India, and only two teams went. Only two major players of the ones at least that we knew weren't allowed by their senior teams to come play the Under-17 World Cup. And it's a smart decision, because obviously senior football is greater than any age group football, obviously, especially at 16, 17, right? So one was Jadon Sancho, who was pulled off by Dortmund after just 3 games. He was only given permission to play the 3 group stage games. Of course, they didn't need him. They went on to win the World Cup. The other was Vinicius Junior, who was the captain of Brazil heading into the tournament, but he was not allowed access by Flamengo. Or was it Santos? I can't remember. I think it was Flamengo.
The World Cup was in 2017 or 2018 or something, right?
2017. 2017.
Perhaps Real Madrid bought him by that time, and he was on loan from Real Madrid at Flamengo.
No. Real Madrid bought him that summer.
Oh, okay.
Real Madrid bought him that summer, and I think then they'll let him play in Brazil for one more year, if I'm not wrong.
Oh, okay.
what a ragtag start to Real's half. Like they start off with a foul. Like I have to say, Nacho's longevity surprised me. For someone who I thought was a bit part player, he's really fit in like an MC. Like just put in wherever you're struggling.
Poor man's Milner, isn't it?
Poor man's Milner. No, I would say he's a rich man's Milner.
Oh,
he's
okay.
He's a Milner with multiple Champions League titles. Let's not forget. let's not forget that.
That's
So yeah.
But is his game better than Milner?
I mean, as much as I love Milner, you have to be of a very good standard even to be a bit part player in Real. You're still talking about the most successful team of the last decade.
True.
Right? So, yeah, I mean, definitely Nacho, one that goes under the radar. Also, the one that played at the World Cup, if you remember, in Russia. Not that Spain had a great outing, but playing for Spain at World Cup, almost Kai Havertz.
Yeah, I mean Havertz has picked really good after Thomas Tuchel came, and I was saying yesterday, the possession game actually helps Kai Havertz. When you are having the possession and when you are moving around with the ball.
Yeah, I don't want to take a dig at Frank Lampard, but I mean clearly he didn't know what to do with Kai Havertz. Yeah, clearly he didn't know what.
But I don't think that game works with Timo as much because I don't think Timo prefers that possession kind of game which Thomas Tuchel likes to play. I think he would prefer a bit more of playing on the breaks and a bit more of gegenpressing.
So, I mean, Timo also, give him some time. I feel
that's true.
Yeah, I wouldn't be so. I won't cry out for his blood yet. I think you give him one more or two more seasons. I feel at Real, so at Chelsea.
I mean Mason Mount and the midfield. I think the midfield for Chelsea should be Mason Mount, Kai Havertz, and N'Golo Kante. And someone with a better centre forward, that would be a good mix because Kai Havertz is arriving a bit late into the scene. Same with Mason Mount and having some passing.
But people underestimate the balance that Jorginho brings to the team. He's your regista. He's your deep lying playmaker, and he's really good at it.
It's really good at it, but I feel both Kovacic and Jorginho since Thomas Tuchel had come has been a bit slow in that kind of a game. They need to be a bit more faster. They need to have a bit more ideas.
Yeah. No, I still feel of their centre midfielders and their deep lying midfielders. I feel Kovacic is definitely the one that's technically the most proficient, right? But then see, it's a question about system, right? Kovacic fit into Lampard's plans. He fit into them well. So different coaches, different plans. Kante is obviously the one undroppable. Like having another brilliant game. Yeah, having another brilliant game. Like you can't. Like he's everywhere.
True.
It's crazy. And his ball skills have got so good over time. He started off as a pure tackler, but his energy and his effect on the ball is improved over time. Even for the goal also, played a really good 1-2.
Yeah, true. I mean, to get it to Havertz.
Yeah. Havertz. Toying with them.
Who will come from the bench? Pulisic might come from the bench soon, isn't it?
Yeah,
Pulisic will be rested for Manchester City.
But I was reading something about Pulisic, not feeling 100% in the lead up.
He might be rested for the Manchester City match then.
I was reading somewhere. Pulisic, yeah. Who else? See, one of the forwards maybe.
Tammy or Giroud, yeah, possible.
Yeah. I feel Kai will get a rest. Deserves one also. Has been terrific over the last month or so.
Yeah. I mean, Kai Havertz has been really good. I mean, he has not lost a game. It's the class.
I don't think there was ever any doubt. It's only Premier League watchers. Who, only Premier League watchers who were like, Kai Havertz fucking came from a Farmers League and did well. I don't think there was ever any doubt in my mind as to Kai Havertz doing well. So.
True. Yeah, but he's someone for whom the system matters a lot. That's the issue.
Yeah. So, what is Kai's best position? I think that's something even Kai is still
doesn't know.
Even Kai is still figuring it out, right? So is Tuchel. But the good thing is when you're so versatile, you can play multiple positions, and that's not really a bad thing, right? It's a good headache for a coach to have.
I mean, unless you are Emre Can.
I don't want to talk about Emre Can on this. I've had enough headaches with Emre Can on this. So.
I mean, he's versatile, right? You can play left back, right back, centre back, CDM.
Or he can't play left back, right back, CDM, whichever way you want to look at it.
Yes.
Right. Oof. Madrid are struggling. They can't put two. They can't string a movement together. They can't. I mean, 2-3 passes and it's breaking down. Like
they need someone with energy in the wings. I mean, Ferland Mendy is not the solution.
Mendy is not a winger, right?
Mendy
is not a winger. He's playing there because the other wingers are being so ineffective. Like
I think it's time that Hazard has to. I mean, you still feel like Hazard can do some magic, but I think Real has to be realistic. Just take Hazard in.
I feel you cut your losses. I feel after a point of time you will struggle to cut their losses also.
Who's there on the bench? Real, let me just check. They have
Asensio.
Asensio is an option.
Asensio is warming up. I see Asensio warming up.
Yes. And they have Isco as well if they want a bit more of attack in the midfield.
Ooh, that's close.
Isco instead of Casemiro? If they want to go
possibly
the last minute.
Possibly. The story of Isco is tragic. I mean, what a player. What a fantastic player.
Just that Zidane doesn't like him.
I don't know. I've always in two minds about Zidane the coach. I mean, no doubt about Zidane the player, but Zidane the coach. But yeah, like Champions League titles. The same argument they make for Vicente Del Bosque, right? They said
Del Bosque, okay.
He had such a team that anyone could have coached the team and they would have still won, right? I don't know if it holds true for
his biggest achievement was with Spain, not with the club, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Winning one World Cup
back Euros and
yeah. No, he didn't win back-to-back Euros. The first Euro was won by a gentleman who passed away last year and one of the godfathers of Spanish football, Luis Aragonés. So it wasn't Del Bosque, but Del Bosque won the 2010 World Cup and 2012 Euros. And then it all came crashing down when they played Netherlands in the first game of their 2014 World Cup. Yeah. And what a match it was.
So in his club achievement, he has won the 2000 Champions League or 2000
Champions League. Real Madrid, Real Madrid legend. Del Bosque, obviously. No.
And that was, 2000 was, that was against Valencia, and that team had Luis Figo, or Luis Figo came after that. But that team didn't have so many good players.
I remember. I think Luis Figo moved in 2000, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
That's when the pig's head and everything started, and Figo was branded a traitor. Like it was like a huge controversy. Like he was hit by a coin and all. I remember. I think it was 2000 that he.
So 99-2000 season they had Iker Casillas they had Porto.
That was Casillas' first season, if I'm not wrong. First season.
Probably. And then they had Hierro. Hierro was there. Roberto Carlos, yes.
Robert Prosinecki was there.
Prosinecki, I don't think was there in 99-2000.
Because Prosinecki, I remember scoring the winning goal for Madrid in the Champions League. I think
that must be 2002 or 2002 maybe.
Prosinecki was.
They had Anelka, Raul at the front, Anelka and Raul at the front, and Steve McManaman.
By the time I think had been benched. I think he was the striker when I think they won it in 90.
But I think the midfield is decent. The midfield they had Steve McManaman, Clarence Seedorf, Guti, and Fernando Redondo. So that's good. The midfield was really good. Yeah. But I don't think that was an exceptional team of that time or something. It's not like you can't take the credit completely out of Del Bosque for 2000 win if he won it with this team.
No one's taking the credit out of Del Bosque. We are talking about the credit for the World Cup and the Euros, where they said that team was so good. The Spanish team was so good that anybody could have managed that team, and they could have won. I find it hard to argue because Spain had some of the
best midfield
players who had players who are now considered all-time greats. Xavi, Iniesta, Xabi Alonso, Cesc Fabregas. Like, it's insane amount of talent in one team. David Villa. So, I don't know. I can't argue against that team being like uber loaded with talent.
True. I mean, same with the defense also goes like with Sergio Ramos, people are arguing, is he the best?
Sergio Ramos, Carlos Puyol. Yeah. Like, crazy. Alvaro Arbeloa. I'm not even sure if he was a starting right back or was it somebody else.
I don't know who was a right back at that moment of time, but I think Sergio Ramos was played as a right back. And Puyol, PK were the centre backs at that moment of time.
Could be.
Jordi Alba was a left back.
Could be. Jordi Alba was a left back. Jordi Alba was left back at least in 2012. You remember because he scored a goal in the Euro finals. Great goal, where he runs almost the entire length of pitch to slot it in.
True.
Second goal of theirs in the final. I think he was there in 2010. In 2008, it was. Joan Capdevia. I remember interviewing Capdevia when he was a marquee player in the first season of ISL for Northeast United. I remember he spoke about the Euros and all that they won.
Which club did he play for?
Northeast United.
No. In Spain?
In Spain, Capdevia played for Valencia.
Okay.
If I'm not wrong. So the 2010 World Cup team, I think, had 5 Barca or 6 Barca and 4 Real Madrid, and I think Capdevia was the only Barca this thing, and because I'm not counting Torres because Torres had dropped to the Spain bench by then. It was they only played one striker system. One striker system where Villa would play. Villa had moved from Valencia to Barcelona by that time. So
true.
Because him and Messi would go on to beat Man United in the Champions League final 1 year later, 2011. It was Pedro, Villa, and you forgot Pedro also. Pedro also member of the 2010 World Cup team also. 2010 World Cup winning team. Pedro was also there. So fantastic. And then Madrid went on to dominate this decade, like the 2010s.
But that didn't have any much of Spanish talent. That's the only difference.
I mean, they had, but they weren't always the starters.
Apart from Ramos, of course. But
I think Isco should have made it bigger than he is. That's probably also because the man who does not like him has been in charge for the most part of the decade.
True.
Yeah.
True. I mean, there is a particular saying that, Isco, if you look at the kind of game Isco plays, it's pretty much the kind of game Zidane played as a player.
Yeah.
So, if Zidane was the coach of Zidane the player, Zidane wouldn't have played.
Maybe. One legit criticism of Zidane, I feel, is his inability to change systems. I haven't seen a lot of tactical flexibility from Zidane. For example, when he first came, Real Madrid struggled.
I don't think he's a tactician. He's just someone who knows to run the dressing room and have some basic.
Because like everyone's a gangster until the real gangster turns up, right? That's Zidane, right? And like, who better to manage a team full of egos than Zinedine Zidane himself?
Yeah, true.
So to be honest, Isco may play like Zidane, but I mean, there's no comparison, because when we were growing up, Zidane was like, oh my God, like he was the best player in the world.
I mean, the style of the game is same, that's all. But I mean, you can't compare.
Yeah, I mean, like Zidane was a class apart, like because between like the original Ronaldo, between the original Ronaldo lighting it up and the teenage Messi. There were flashes of brilliance by Ronaldinho and all that, but Zinedine Zidane in midfield was like something else to see. Yeah, like it was crazy. Like that goal in the Champions League final, I don't think
2002.
I don't think anyone ever forget that.
True. That was a good fight, man. Nacho and Havertz.
Nacho. Asensio's coming on.
So I mean, Zidane had to make a change.
Yeah, and I'm surprised Fede Valverde doesn't start these games, because he's somebody I genuinely see as a good talent. Which is why I think sometimes Zidane can be stuck in his ways, I feel. Like,
then this is a very attacking thing also. I mean, you're taking Mendy out and putting Valverde in.
Yeah, but Mendy was playing as the winger anyway. Right, Mendy wasn't playing.
It was pretty much three-man back line.
Mendy wasn't playing as so. Yeah, it's a like for like. I know Vinicius has been disappointing.
I mean, he's just running. It's not. It's a headless chicken kind of a thing that Vinicius has.
Yeah. No, and to be honest, he's been up against Chilwell, who he's not been up against the likes of Aspi, right? He's been up against Chilwell on the other flank. Should be doing better, definitely. Chilwell's the only one of the backline that's looked shaky. So could have actually got to him, but he didn't. Vinicius didn't, because Vinicius can sometimes be a one-track pony, like without guile. Yeah, nice. So I know Real Madrid seem to buy a lot of teenage Brazilians, like Rodrigo goes, right, like hat-trick on Champions League debut. What happened?
Yeah, Rodrigo. I don't know. That's another the next dream after Vinicius Junior, and it has. I don't know if it has failed more or failed less, but it has pretty much failed, just like Vinicius Junior hasn't been up to the expectation at all.
I mean, weird.
And Asensio is also back from a big injury, so I mean, Asensio has not delivered it.
But Asensio, if you look at it, he played really well for the time that Zidane wasn't managing the team
during the 2018-19 season.
Yeah. So he was good. Like Asensio was good.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Again, like managerial preferences.
I don't think Zidane is good at improving talent or anything like that.
I doubt any talent.
But we still can't say. I mean,
so I once met two gentlemen who ran Real Madrid for the greater part of a decade. They obviously left Real Madrid to set up this super academy in Dubai, in Doha, in Qatar, called the Aspire Academy. But like they're very famous in the footballing world because they were like chief executive at Real Madrid, man named Ivan Bravo, right? He says Ocante, oof. Okay, so he says Barcelona is known for La Masia and all of that, and and everyone's like, oh, Barcelona produces the most players in the world. But the truth, and I have to agree with him, when he produced the facts and named the players, is that Real Madrid produces the most number of players in the world who go on to be like, genuine like superstars. The only thing is like it's so crowded, right? And what had happened in the first Galactico era was that there was a market shift so that even really good academy players couldn't get into.
So what are the academy players during the 2000s, the noughties, which did not get because of the Galactico era?
Eto, big miss.
Eto was from Real Madrid academy?
Yes,
okay.
Either Real Madrid academy or he was there when he was very young. Eto was there when he was very young. He was overlooked there, and it was a humiliation that he never forgot for the rest of his career, because he would play against them with the fire every time they played. Eto, Juan Mata, people don't even remember this. Juan Mata played for the Real Madrid academy, right? So, I mean, these are just two examples. So many at that Real Madrid academy didn't make it there. It's because of the Galactico strategy, basically. So, there's an interesting saying in Spain called where they say Real Madrid was a team of Zidans and Pavons, right? I think it's a saying in Spain, y Zidane y la Pavon, right? So what it basically means is that you have a lot of Galacticos and you have the not so good academy products, because the good academy products will leave. So the Pavon, obviously, I mean, all credit to him, he probably wasn't that bad, but he went down in history because of the quote, right? So the good ones obviously left, and the average ones obviously stayed, right? So as not to upset the established order of superstars.
You never know those academy players right now is the problem.
Yeah, Nacho, for example, is an academy player, if I'm not wrong. Theo Hernandez, who's at Milan, I think right now, is an academy.
Real academy.
Yeah, it's a Madrid academy. So the Madrid academy produces a lot of talent. Just that it's a team full of superstars, and they're not really trusted, obviously. So
I might have to still read the names, because as you said, that they produce more than Barcelona, because you know all the Barcelona stars, because you mostly associate them with Barcelona as well. Like if you say Iniesta or Xavi, or because you have seen them play with Barcelona, or Busquets, I think as well as Barcelona product.
Yeah. No, plus they always keep harping.
And even like Mauro Icardi is a Barcelona
product. Yeah. But he's one of the few ones I've heard that didn't actually make it there. Yeah.
And made it outside. I mean, there are many who don't make it, but made it outside as well. Like there are many who say this is Messi.
No, so in the era that was just after the first Galacticos era, some made it into the team, right? They maybe not established themselves, but they made it into team. Esteban Granero, for example, Arbeloa, right? Raul obviously played his whole life, almost his whole life for the team, right? Guti played. Yeah. Soldado never played at Madrid, so was a product, I think. Parejo, like a few, is
Kovacic an academy product, or was he came from Croatia?
Kovacic, I think, came from Inter Milan, I think.
Oh, okay. Check it. It's on his surface, isn't it? He should be.
Carvajal moved to Leverkusen for a long time.
On loan, I think. Yes.
On loan, but he was there for a long time. So if he's if he's such a very good product, then why keep him at loan for 2-3 years? It's crazy.
True.
Right? So there were like, I mean, like, I don't even remember. I think
Kovacic was in Dynamo Zagreb academy, and he had a couple of seasons with Inter before he moved to
Inter, yeah. I think Juan Fran also, if I'm not wrong, was a Madrid. Madrid. Then the Liverpool midfielder Luis Garcia was also, I think.
I see.
Yeah, so
they have one more. I mean, two academy talents coming right now. I think one is in Arsenal, who I don't know if Zidane would be able to use him. It's Odegaard. And they have the Japanese wonder kid, right? Kubo is still with Real Madrid, right?
I'm not sure if he's still with them, or is he just loaned out, or is he been sold? Or not?
I think he's still in that Odegaard's timeline. He's just loaned for.
No, I think he's. Kubo is playing for Levante. I think he's playing Mallorca. I think he's playing for another Spanish. Yeah, I don't know if he's on loan or if he's been sold.
Interesting.
A lot of this thing. I think Brahim Diaz is at Real Madrid, and I think he moved from the Man City academy to the Real Madrid academy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like PK. It's just like what PK did, right?
Sold, I think, to Milan, if I'm not wrong, this season. So was a wonder kid who moved from academies to academies, right? So it's a crazy time in the footballing world where prodigies are moving from academies to academies. That Harvey Simmons, who made his debut for PSG, moved from the Barca academy to BSG academy. Right.
Oh yeah. They were showing the photo of him with Neymar,
and he had 1 million followers on Insta before he made his first team debut.
Interesting.
Oh, big miss, Thiago Silva. They're coming closer.
That would have sealed the match, in fact.
Chelsea should really be 3-4 up by now.
Yeah, they're dominating the match. I mean, second half has been pretty much Real has been not been there at all.
The redemption for Tuchel, I feel really well, and I think what I was trying to say yesterday and what you guys didn't get is that, you know, the way PSG have been were imploding, right? The way PSG were imploding, you have to appreciate what Tuchel did with all these big egos to take them to the final. You really have to appreciate that collective spirit that he put.
I mean, he couldn't get it in the first season. I mean, he got them play the football he wanted. He took a lot of time to get them play at least a football he can tolerate with, because the first time it was like Neymar and Mbappe will decide what to do, and you just have to pass the ball to them. And then finally they said, no, that's not the way to play. You have to have a collective. It came really late.
Yeah. No, I mean, to be honest, they made a comeback against Atlanta and all, and you don't get that sort of comeback with these sort of egoistic players unless and until they really respect you as a coach.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So
true.
I really feel like Tuchel is, of course, but that's only because the media is always dominated by those who watch the Premier League. That's a pattern that has to change, because I mean, even Tuchel's effect at Chelsea has been nothing short of phenomenal. Yeah. The season had almost gone right for them, and now they're on the verge of reaching the Champions League final.
True.
So Tuchel really.
What would be the signing? What would be the signing that you think Tuchel would need now to play the kind of game that Tuchel would like to play in Chelsea?
Okay. So I mean, having read a lot of Tuchel analytical articles and stuff like that, I feel right now, I still feel the press is very disjointed, right? He obviously doesn't like Tammy, so he's telling Tammy. Werner obviously isn't working out as the main striker. Maybe gives him another season, right? So I think Tuchel might get in a centre back, right? He also might get. I think Havertz pretty much has sealed his place there in the attacking lane. Pulisic also I think should be given an extended run. The question is who plays striker.
The question is centre forward or midfielder. Like if you want to play, if you get a midfielder, then you're playing Havertz as a false nine. There's the midfielder, the centre forward.
They're not able to put their chances away. I mean, and this might bite them in the ass. Real Madrid just need one goal. Should really have been 4-5. So yeah, that's the question, right? Do you play Kai as the false forward now, or do you keep him? I'd say you keep him because you have Pulisic also on the wings, and you have like tons of talent to support him on the wings. Like you have Callum Hudson-Odoi.
I would prefer Kai Havertz as a bit more as that kind of a midfielder arriving a bit late and having a centre forward instead of Kai Havertz. I mean, if Tuchel wants to play the game, I feel Mason Mount and Kai Havertz playing, just behind in the midfield with Kante.
No, but it's not a bad idea for Mount to play as the 10 and then Kai to play as the false 9. Also, that also works. In my book.
But I feel you need someone a bit more clinical and having that kind of a striker thing more than Kai Havertz. I think Kai Havertz is.
And there's only one clinical striker like who's young and at this point of time, there's only one guy who's of age. Erling brought Haaland.
Yeah, you can't get Erling right now, but
yeah.
If you can get
because I think Chelsea are also risking financial fair play because they just spent like a crazy amount this summer, right? So they'll have to sell. They have to sell before they can buy.
I mean, if Tuchel can develop one of Tammy or Hudson-Odoi, then he can avoid. But otherwise,
Erling maybe no, but I feel this summer
you can get someone like either Andre Silva or something like that, or Wout Weghorst.
Or Schürrle types, yes. No, I'm saying this summer there are a couple of interesting strikers who are doing the round in Europe, who really will be playing in higher leagues in the time to come. For example, this striker I was checking out the other day called Patson Daka, who's playing for
Salzburg.
Yeah, who's playing for Salzburg, and he has some 25 goals in 25 games. That's insane.
I think he has already moved on this summer.
Yeah?
I think Leipzig have already got him.
Yeah, I mean it's not obviously it's not a big leap from Leipzig to Salzburg to Leipzig.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm saying the Daka types exist in Europe. Who's that guy who's banging in goals for Fiorentina? He has some 19 goals for Fiorentina, and that's a very good strike rate because Fiorentina are struggling.
I forgot.
Vlahovic, I think.
Let me just check. Just give a moment.
Vlahovic.
It's Vlahovic is how old is he?
He's young, I think 21.
He's 21. He's 21. He's Serbian. 1.962.
Yeah, physical.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And
there are these names that are like floating around doing well.
So I mean, if you can get someone for 30 million.
I think Leipzig also recently got another gem from Ajax also. They got Brian
Brobby. Yeah, Brobby is the name they got. Yeah, Daka they haven't. Yeah, I think Brobby is the one they sealed.
Yeah, Brian Brobby. There are good strikers. I mean, unless and until you're just like, see, they're not going to behave like Indian club where they're like, oh, everyone's behind Erling Haaland, so we also want Erling Haaland, right? They obviously have their scouting networks and all that. So
Chelsea.
they would have. Yeah, I was saying. That's what I'm saying. And sometimes clubs just need to take punts on strikers from lower leagues because you never know, right? So, I mean, like you can't today disrespect the Austrian league because someone like an Erling Haaland came from there.
Yeah.
Right. The difference that because Erling Haaland is a monster, but by that same metric, then Patson Daka could also be a monster. And Patson Daka's numbers this year are insane in the league. They're Haaland-esque numbers, right? So I mean, instead of always looking for the finished product, I feel sometimes one of these guys can take the plunge. But I don't know if Daka has moved on because I haven't read anything.
Yeah,
I know Brobbey is joining Leipzig, I know. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if Daka moved from one Red Bull club to the other.
Yeah. Always happens.
And I think they're having some crazy season where I think 2 strikers have scored more than 15 goals in the league for them. I forgot the other guy's name only because his Patson Daka has been scoring like nuts. So
I don't see that in the news anywhere. But I think it's Brobbey that they have sealed, and then they sealed just 2 centre backs. Leipzig. They got Guardiol and I forgot Simakan.
Yeah, Joseph Guardiol is an underrated buy. Really one that's going to stand out. I mean that's my personal feeling at least. Like,
I mean, it's not as talked as Simakan for sure because Simakan has been linked with different clubs in the past as well.
I mean, talked about is again like it's just that, right? Just talk, right? So, like even now, Vlahovic is going under the radar, right? So, need someone to take a punt on him, right? I was reading Mahrez's transfer history yesterday. It reads like some Bollywood novel types. Like
Mahrez is what?
Mahrez's career history I was reading yesterday.
So where was he before?
4th division. He started. So I think he went for trials at some big club. He said, was it a Premier League club? I don't remember. So he scored some 7 goals in 4 games, and they didn't offer him was it Anderlecht? Might have been Anderlecht. So whatever. He wasn't offered a permanent contract, and he joined the French 4th tier team.
Oh my God.
At the age of 18. And then he moved to Le Havre at 20.
So the French 4th division team is called a Squimper.
Guingamp.
Okay.
That's what it's called. Okay. Yeah. So he moved to Le Havre, which was I think 2nd division team. It's the same club from which Paul Pogba moved to the Man United academy. So and at Le Havre also at the age of 20, 21, I think he was in the reserves, right? And then Leicester City picked him up from a 2nd division French team because they themselves were in the championship at that point of time, right? So then, since then, Mahrez has won the championship, the Premier League with 2 different clubs, the AFCON, if I'm not wrong, Algeria won, and man, Kante is just on fire. It's a great. Oh, finally, they get the 2nd goal. Like it's. Like so much struggle.
Kante actually got the goal. He won the ball, and Pulisic, composure to get the ball to Mount was.
Kante is a legend. Just build a statue of him at Chelsea already. Like, no, I'm serious. Like just do it already. Like finally, they should have come long time ago.
Yeah, so he won the African Footballer of the Year in 15.
Award, yeah. And now he's on the verge of winning the Champions League. It's great.
Yeah, he was the African champion in 2019, the Africa Cup with Algeria.
Yeah. They won it. Yeah. Crazy team, Algeria. Will always remember the round of 16 match in 2014.
Oh, against Germany. Yeah. I mean, that was Manuel Neuer. I mean, it was Mertesacker, creating Mertesacker and Mustafi creating chance for Algeria one after the other, and Manuel Neuer.
Yeah, that's because the genius of a manager put two slow centre backs together. So I mean, this is bound to happen.
I think Hummels was sick or something at that game as well. He didn't.
Still. I mean, it's.
Going to the World Cup without a left back.
No, and like if anyone's seen, if you've read the history of teams from that region or generally people from that region, Algeria, Tunisia, Morocco, they can run for days, and I'm not even generalizing. Like it's true. Like the world's toughest ultra marathon, which goes on for 6 days and some 200 kilometers, is held in Tunisia, and I think those local people run it as a joke. Like, let's just like a physical activity. Let's just do it for the heck of it. It's also something that Luis Enrique ran in 2008. So, I mean, if you know teams from that region, you know that they're going to physically dominate you, and then they're going to like kill you on the counter. So it was not a very good, well thought out plan for sure. And Mertesacker post-match interviews is stuff of legend from that match.
What happened? What did he say?
He got very pissed. Like I think the German media person is like, do you think you're going to go all the way playing like this? Literally, I mean, he just stopped short of calling Germany's performance shit. And Mertesacker was like, do you think we're all clowns here? Like, Mertesacker usually a gentleman, right? So he said, do you think we're all clowns here? Do you think, we're just sitting here to make a mockery of our profession? So like you should watch this thing. It's stuff of legend, because then Honigstein in his book says that everyone was tensed in the Germany camp post that match, and then when Mertesacker came into the team bus after the interview, they laughed a lot because like, he went absolutely mad in the post match interview. Like, it's one of the rudest interviews he's ever given.
Oh.
So yeah, but Honigstein says that's what helped like bond the team together.
I mean, you can say that helped bond the team as well. But as you said, Philipp Lahm moved to right back from the next match onwards.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that was very crucial. Yeah. That was very crucial. You always see.
I mean, you don't have a left back. You didn't take a left back to the.
No.
You took only one right back, and you play him as a center.
So Lowe's whole idea was to play like 4 centre backs across the pitch, right? But what happens in that case is that you need superior organization, and I always say this of defenses, right? You just look at Liverpool, right? You need your defensive leader to sit and organize, because the defense is the most hardest thing to organize in football, right? So not only do you need your coach to organize the defense, you also need the defensive leader. So Lahm was for all practical purposes the defensive leader. So his move back to this thing, it helped. It helped ease the nerves. And I think from then on they only conceded.
One goal against Brazil.
One goal in the next 3 matches against Brazil. That too, it came from sloppiness. They were about to score the 8th. I think Mesut Ozil hit the bar.
Yeah.
And then they hit on the counter. Yeah, then they hit on the counter and Oscar scored it. So, but anyway, like I said, I mean, the role of defensive leaders is really underrated. Yeah. Like here is Aspilicueta, undoubtedly. Like the man's slow. He's not some modern day fullback who'll go bombarding down. But like man, he's a warrior and he's a leader. Like you can see, like he has really good organization skills.
True.
Like, and he's been good under
leader.
several managers, not just Mourinho, right? Not just Mourinho, not under Tuchel. Like there's not been a single manager who's dropped Aspilicueta. So, like, and same with Ramos at Madrid. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the match is done. So it is two English teams, Manchester City and Chelsea. What do you think how would the final be? I mean, I don't want it to be, a very, very defensive affair. Do you think it might become interesting?
It might become a defensive affair. I feel Tuchel will be wary of the Man City threat and
And City has been the most defensive of a Pep Guardiola team as well. I mean, this season's City.
Could be, but like we've never seen a City team under Guardiola with so many gifted attackers. Also, I mean, the fact that City have breezed into the Champions League final without a recognized number 9.
Centre forward.
I mean, with all respect to Gabriel Jesus, he did not play yesterday, right? Yeah. So it was like he used 4 9s in rotation, right? So I mean, you talk of City's this thing defensive prowess, but to be honest, like they've never had so many gifted attackers at the same time. Foden, Mahrez, De Bruyne, like
and Gundogan also scored a lot of goals.
And Gundogan, like who's been playing false 9 at times, like crazy. Like it's crazy. How is a lot of teams not going to be able to deal with that? But yeah, I feel the one signing that has won them the Champions League and is going to go on to
Ruben Dias.
Is Ruben Dias, the one that is really City's MVP of the season.
I think Cancelo has also stepped up, isn't it? I mean,
Cancelo's created more chances than a lot of attackers in Europe this year. Cancelo's had a really good season, and the boy wonder, obviously, Phil.
Yeah, true.
And I think Mahrez has really stepped up. And I said this last year also. I think when I was having discussion, I don't know if it was on the group or what. Like Mahrez is Mahrez. Mahrez is class. Like he's like, yeah, just because Bernardo Silva had one good season, like, man, this is like Mahrez and Kante won Leicester the Premier League, like, and they've been good for several clubs. So, and Olivier Giroud, we thought would come on much earlier. Kai hasn't got a.
I think it's just Tuchel wasting the time so that he gets.
Guy hasn't got a rest at all. Like I played the full match, so.
You said Pulisic might come for Havertz, but I thought there is more chance that Pulisic is put for Werner because they didn't have the second goal at that moment of time when Pulisic came in. But after the second goal, I think Havertz should have been rested. But Aspilicueta needed the rest as well. He's the leader.
Yeah, match over. Yeah.
So what would be your prediction? What is your prediction for
City
final?
City.
And what would be the scoreline? Would be a 1-0 or is there any chance?
I think KG affair. I think Tuchel will set out to stop City. And let me tell you that Tuchel's defensive organization was really good this year. So 2-1. My book. 2-1 or 1-0. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I have a feeling it might be a bit more cagey affair than that.
But when's the last
90 minutes?
When's the last time this City team failed to score? When's the last time? Answer that, because
I think it's Manchester United, isn't it?
Okay.
Manchester derby.
2-0.
Yeah.
Okay. But that seems like an age back now when you think about it.
True. But I think Chelsea has the midfield. Chelsea has the midfield of Manchester. I mean, they have a midfield, but they don't have the midfield to do what Manchester United did in that match.
No. I think what Pep Guardiola, if I expect him to do, will be to try and stop Jorginho. Because I expect him to do something like that. Essentially, he's Tuchel's linchpin, keeps the balance between midfield and defense. So definitely, if Jorginho plays well, Chelsea have a chance. But if not, and I definitely expect Guardiola to try and stop Chelsea's midfield from trying and playing.
Anyway, we'll end the stream right now.
Yes.
Bye.
Okay.
Happy to be listening to you.
Okay.
There you go.